Straight ahead on CCX News, a Golden Valley business where people tune in and listen. We'll show you how it's part of a fast-growing industry. Plus, speaking of growing, a donation drive that grew and grew because of a Brooklyn Park fourth grader. But first, HyVee opening soon in Robbinsdale. Now we've learned another HyVee is opening sometime later this year here in the CCX viewing area. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone and thanks for joining us. HyVee is staking claim to another location in the Twin Cities.
A spokesperson confirmed today, Friday, that HyVee will be opening up a location in Plymouth. The old Cub Foods location off Rockford Road and Highway 55 will be the first refurbished grocery store that HyVee has opened in the Twin Cities, although they have refurbished stores in other markets. This Cub Foods store closed about 10 days ago. HyVee says they are pleased they can move forward with opening a store to serve customers later this fall.
Now to a very difficult story involving the death of a 3-year-old foster child. A Brooklyn Park couple is now accused in the child's death. A grand jury has indicted Sherry and Bryce Dirk of first-degree murder while committing child abuse. They're also accused of second-degree murder while committing neglect, child endangerment, and malicious punishment. Police were called out to the couple's home last fall. That's when they found the child dead. The child was severely dehydrated, and according to the Hennepin County Attorney's Office, the girl had gone from the 98th percentile in weight to the 13th percentile in a span of about 1 year. The couple are also parents to 4 other children. Those children are in protective care.
Brooklyn Center Police celebrated a significant milestone this week.
So 10 years ago, the City Council wanted to reach out to community members, and we thought about different ways to do that. And one of the best ways was coming out to the different neighborhoods.
Thursday night, the City of Brooklyn Center celebrated the 10th anniversary of their neighborhood park meetings. It's an opportunity for city department heads to go into the neighborhoods so that residents can learn about police activities, public works projects, and the latest news with the City Council.
It's a really good opportunity for community members, citizens to see all the different department heads, all the people that are working on their behalf, and so they can put a face to a name. So if they have a question, we make sure nobody leaves here without their questions being answered.
People in attendance at Thursday's meeting were treated to free food too from Godfather's Pizza and New King Buffet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A Brooklyn Park 10-year-old is doing what he can to help kids who are less fortunate, including one he doesn't even know.
Okay, now my turn. 10-year-old Quentin Haar heard about a child in Nigeria who couldn't go to school and had to work. He wanted to do something about it. His family had an idea to collect toys and clothes to sell at a consignment store so that the child could afford school. What we found out was no casual effort. When we arrived at his Brooklyn Park home, hundreds of toys and clothes were being sorted and priced. Friends and neighbors helped, but for the past 4 months, the driving force was a 10-year-old.
You know, what I want to say to people too is that I think we underestimate children and what they can do in society and how much they can give. Sometimes they just think they're just play or just hang out or cause trouble, but the kids really come together and work hard.
Quentin at first wanted to have a garage sale and sell all of his toys, but they thought a consignment store sale would actually raise more money. Here's a little proof that many hands do in fact make light work.
In our operations area, we have 3 people in our operations area, and we're serving hundreds of people. So absolutely not, there's no chance that we would be able to do it. So without volunteers like Rasmussen, there's no chance that we'd be able to serve the community the way that we are.
18 volunteers from Rasmussen College in Brooklyn Park rolled up their sleeves and helped clean, sort, and restock the food shelf at SEEP in Brooklyn Center. It's all part of the college's 10th annual Community Service Day, which happens at all of the Rasmussen locations nationwide.
Giving back is a core part of our mission, and so I don't know of many organizations that will close their doors for a day and let over 1,000 employees go out and give back to the community. It's what we instill in our students. We want them to be great members of society and give back.
The nonprofit SEEP is always looking for volunteers at its food shelf. 100 years ago, a Russian immigrant started selling refurbished wooden boxes on the cobblestone streets of Minneapolis.
Now, Liberty Diversified International sells a variety of paper and office products, and they're celebrating their 100th anniversary from their Brooklyn Park facility. The company is calling it their Great Gratitude Tour, and we're thankful that our Neil Persley is there to tell us about it. Hi, Neil.
Hi, Shannon, Alex. That's right. We're out here in Brooklyn Park at Liberty Diversified International, where I have Ann Miller with me, whose great-grandfather started the company 100 years ago, and she's going to tell me why you chose gratitude as your theme for the 100th anniversary.
It was an easy choice. When my great-grandpa Jack came over to this country over 100 years ago, he was so grateful for the opportunity that this awesome country afforded him to live in America, that we just knew the only way to celebrate our centennial was with gratitude. So here we've spent the last 19 days on a gratitude tour, finding the unsung heroes in our world, the garbage collectors, the veterans, the teachers, the cancer researchers, the people that don't get thanked enough. And we're culminating today in our home state of Minnesota, trying to break a world record with 1,000 signatures of gratitude from our LDI family, the people you see behind you.
And this is official. Tell me about...
We've got our Guinness Book of World Records Judge Michael here on site, and let me tell you, he's in a suit, and he looks pretty official, so it must be the real deal. We're just so happy to be here, so grateful.
Now, you just started this just a few minutes ago, having hundreds of people come in and sign a message of gratitude. How long do they have to complete this?
We have 60 minutes. So I think we're going to do it. We're a real competitive company. We love to win. I think we're going to do it. We may need to have to pull some of our amazing food truck vendors off their trucks to get it done. We may have to make some new friends off the street, but it's going to be awesome.
All right. Thank you, Ann, so much. And the public is invited to this. This is kind of an open house for LDI, so if you're watching this and you're close by, come on down, join in the effort to sign the longest, largest message of gratitude. Live from Brooklyn Park at Liberty Diversified International, Neil Persley, CCX News.
All right, thanks so much, Neil. Break that record, right? Let's go. Still ahead on CCX News, podcasts are taking earbuds by storm. We'll show you a new studio in Golden Valley that hosts several different shows.
Plus, local golfers are among those chasing a title at the 101st State Open Golf Tournament in the North Metro. That's later in sports.
But first, this weekend will be warm and sunny with a chance of scattered showers. We'll be right back. There's TV and radio, of course, but in the internet era, there's also podcasting.
Many people now rely on those podcasts to get through tough commutes, but you might not realize what actually goes into making a podcast. We found someone who does, and he's made a business out of it in Golden Valley.
Let's just jump right in so our listeners can get the most out of this episode.
Tucked back in a corner near Highway 155 in Golden Valley.
So many good points. Okay, so let's just slow it down a little bit. Okay.
An unassuming building houses a company with a big mission.
We decided that this is going to be an industry, and if we were going to jump in, we wanted to jump in with a commanding presence.
Ian Levitt is the founder of Studio Americana, a business dedicated to podcasting. You might have the image of a podcaster sitting at home with a cheap microphone.
That's how podcasts have been done for the last 10, 15 years.
But the podcasts here are produced at the next level.
I had done a couple episodes in my basement stairwell.
Like Josie Stafford's.
I'm a wedding planner based here in the Twin Cities.
She was not happy with the quality of the wedding industry podcast she was making at home.
It was just me, shaky hand reading off of a piece of paper in my basement, like word for word, and then doing like 18 takes and then redoing them because the door upstairs slammed shut or something, and you could absolutely hear it.
And she was about to give it up until she found Ian's Studio Americana.
I would not have a podcast if it weren't for Ian, for sure. It wouldn't happen.
But starting this business wasn't easy for Ian. He wasn't just starting a new company, he was starting a new industry.
It is nervous and a little scary when you start out, but what we saw has been borne out in our actual sales. So it's been amazing.
What they saw was people wanting to make professional quality shows without having to have a background in broadcasting.
It's one of the places that we wanted to really address with this, is helping people refine their final product down into something that's excellent.
Ian makes it super easy because I just talk and tell him when I want to talk, and then he edits all of it and makes it sound pristine.
And it's working. The studio's been open for just over a year, and it's already making a profit. Ian says that makes all the work and the risk worth it.
It's just an exciting time, and yeah, we're very happy we opened this.
Sessions at Studio Americana run about $250, and for that studio time, you get a dedicated producer, and they'll also edit your show. I think it's the wave of the future, Alex.
great
Very
idea.
popular. Still to come, the show must go on. We will preview Off-Broadway Musical Theater's last show at their current location in New Hope.
But first, we'll hear from a Plymouth native who enjoyed a great season on the ice with the Winnipeg Jets. John Jacobson has that story and much more coming up next.
The Minnesota State Open men's golf tournament dates back to 1917. 101 years later, it is still going strong, with many of the state's best amateur and pro golfers teeing it up for 3 days out at Bunker Hills. Don Berry, director of golf at Edinburgh USA and Brooklyn Park, has won the State Open twice. He's back in this year's field. On the tournament's 11th hole, watch the nice touch on the 30-foot putt that Berry rolls in for a birdie. He got to 2 under par at one point and finishes with a 1 over par round of 73. Joe O'Brien is an amateur playing out of Rush Creek Golf Club in Maple Grove. A long birdie putt try on 17, trails off short of a hole. He would make that putt, though, for par on his way to a round of 76. Wayzata's high school team has enjoyed great success at Bunker Hills over the years, including Van Holgren. He was the state champion in 2017. He finished with a round of 75 today. His old Wayzata teammate Ben Frazzini, now a member of the University of Minnesota golf team, had a great day with a 2 under round par of 70. Some golfers are still on the course at this taping of CCX News. The tournament wraps up on Sunday at Bunker. Playoff rounds began today at the USA Cup Youth Soccer Tournament with age division championship matches set for Saturday. On the final night of pool play action, the MapleBrook boys under-19 team faced Mississippi Valley, and it's Maple Grove's Carlos Gabini making a nice move and scores. Christian Babel with the goal there to make it 1-0. Early second half is Mississippi Valley's Evan Weber passing to Jacob Clemens for the goal, and that's 1-1. MapleBrook takes the lead back. Babel, nice pass to Fidel Cabor. His shot off the keeper's hand and in for a 2-1 lead. MapleBrook adds another marker as Jack Glucker fires the long-distance shot in for a goal for a 3-1 lead. MapleBrook goes on to win it 5-2. The Winnipeg Jets had a great Stanley Cup playoff run this spring, reaching the Western Conference Finals for the first time. One of the guys who played a big part in the Jets' success was Plymouth native Blake Wheeler. Wheeler grew up in the Wayzata School District and played 2 years at Breck School in Golden Valley and later at the University of Minnesota. Now an NHL player for a decade, Wheeler was back in Minnesota recently, and we talked to him about this great season of the Jets.
And I think that it was kind of the people's coming out party a little bit, you know, showing that we're not just you know, the little guys, and kind of getting Winnipeg front and center. I think since I've been in Winnipeg, we've been on NBC Sports one time. Certainly we get a ton of coverage, you know, Hockey Night in Canada, but it was cool for everyone to kind of share in the limelight a little bit, get a little bit of attention, and you could just tell throughout the city that people were they were loving it. And that's what it was about for us too, was, you know, we weren't celebrating, we weren't taking it all in. We had a job to do, but to see everyone else enjoying and that success, it was kind of 7 years in the making.
As you may have noticed in the interview, Blake Wheeler is part of our 2018 class for the CCX Sports Hall of Fame. You'll be able to see more of his story, plus find out the other inductees for this year Honor Hall of Fame special, which airs Labor Day weekend. Be here before you know it. That's it for sports. Shannon and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, a sneak peek of an off-Broadway musical, theater's Wizard of Oz.
And we'll go back out to Brooklyn Park to see how a quest for a world record is going. That's all when we come back. What are you grateful for? That's what people at Liberty Diversified International, or LDI, are thinking about as they try to break the Guinness World Record for most contributions of gratitude to a greeting scroll in 1 hour. You're looking live at that attempt right now. An official judge is there to oversee the process, and a decision should be made Friday night tonight on whether the current record held by a community in the country of Jordan is broken. And this is just part of LDI's 100th anniversary celebration. Good luck, everyone. With construction underway on the New Hope City Hall, this is likely the last year of Off-Broadway Musical Theater's annual summer production in their regular space.
But the show must go on. Neil Persley gives us a preview in today's Weekend Showcase.
Wizard of Oz is a classic show about Dorothy and her journey of finding that there's no place like home.
As Off-Broadway Musical Theater begins their run of The Wizard of Oz, they hope to find the same conclusion as Dorothy, because this will be the last production at the castle next to City Hall. By this time next year, it will be torn down to make way for a new swimming pool.
We've taken the approach of a coloring book, and so as the show progresses, more colors get added as she meets people to color that book for her. When we meet the Scarecrow, more color gets added. When we meet the Tin Man, more color gets added, and the Lion.
And there is no shortage of color in Munchkinland. The cast and set they've assembled for this show are superb, and Kate Peering is the perfect Dorothy with a beautiful voice.
I grew up watching Judy Garland play Dorothy as well. And so I found this safety of kind of playing Judy Garland rather than playing myself. And it was a challenge to try to find the realness in Dorothy and bring that out rather than just the cinematic persona that Judy Garland adopted as her.
And you'll love the other big star of the show.
Toto! Oh, you came back! Oh, you got away from her, you wonderful dog!
Toto actually lives with me right now. He's like 2 years old, so he's still kind of a puppy, but he follows me around really well. He's super good at listening, and he is so adorable.
The outdoor theater is a special place, and The Wizard of Oz is the perfect show that you should not miss. From the Outdoor Theater in New Hope, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Wizard of Oz runs Thursday through Saturdays, now through August 4th. There is a suggested donation of $4 to help defray costs, and there is a collection of food items for the local food shelf. We'll be singing those songs all weekend long,
yes,
right?
and that Dorothy can really sing.
She can sing.
She did a
That's
great
true.
job.
That wraps up this Friday edition of CCX News. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you back here again Saturday starting at noon.